How's it going, everybody? My name is Infamous Isaac, and I'm here with another Bleach review series video. And today I'm going to be talking about the Arrancar Arrival arc, the first part of the Arrancar saga, which is going to be a good portion of the rest of the show. Not the entire show, but a good portion of it. And, you know, I just want to say I apologize for not uploading yesterday. I've been on the craziest streak, but I just didn't have anything I could upload, and I was busy yesterday, so I apologize for that. But today, I got something here. I'm recording this ready to talk about some Bleach. So without further ado, let's begin. So this arc is from episode 110, 111 around there to 131 apparently, but in reality it's more like episode 110 to 128 because 1 120, well, excuse me, episode 127, not 128. 128 all the way to 137, I think, or 136. Yo, actually I could just check right here. Like where are you? Yeah, okay, so yeah, all right. Episode 127 is the last canon arc or episode until 138. 138 is when the show resumes again. So that like stretch of filler is just I'm skipping it because I'm just here to watch the canon stuff right now. So in reality, 110 to 127. Those are the episodes that are canon right now, at least for this arc, or at least this part of the arc. And the reason I skipped from episode 63, like that being the end of the Soul Society arc, to this is because the Bount arc is in between these two. And the Bount arc is complete filler. I remember watching when I was younger, I did not like it. And obviously, I can't call it bad now because I haven't watched it in a long time, but I don't want to watch it. So I won't say it's bad, but I just won't give my opinion on it, period. Because I can't. But I skipped that entire arc. It's like 40 something episodes, around like honestly the length of the Soul Society arc. It's pretty long for it being a filler. And I think it's because the manga, runs concurrently with the show, or ran concurrently with the show. So once they caught up to the Soul Society, they ran out of material, so they had to wait. And I mean, that's what I assumed they did. So once they got enough material, they went back to it, and episode 110 was the result. But it starts off, normal stuff going on. The anime does refer to the bounce, since some characters do remain from it, and they mention them a lot actually. But it's not filler, or excuse me, it's not canon. So I'm still not gonna watch it. But the characters don't even play that big of a role. They're just side characters, just like Kon is at this point. Except Kon is actually real. But regardless, start off school stuff going on. Ichigo and everybody's chilling. They're all just having a good time. And then this mysterious guy shows up. His name is Shinji. He looks like that one character from Teen Titans where he's like the British guy with the messed up teeth, but except this guy isn't British. And he shows up. He's just having a good time goofing around. And then he goes up to Ichigo and he's like, "I know who you are, Ichigo." And then he's munching on all the hollow stuff that Ichigo's going through, as in like the hollow in Ichigo that was talking to Zangetsu. There's the white Ichigo and then there's Zangetsu. They're both a part of Ichigo, but the Hollow is taking over. The more Ichigo relied on Zangetsu's power, the more the Hollow started to take over. So that's been a concern for Ichigo ever since like those battles, and now he's trying to deal with it, but he's not dealing with it well. And so it's just Ichigo, Chad, Orihime, and Uryu. Uryu has no powers right now. Chad's chilling, Orihime's chilling, all of that. And make a long story short, a couple episodes pass by. They're chilling, they're having a good time, and Ichigo's still struggling with his hollow powers. But on the flip side, Captain Hitsugaya, Toshiro Hitsugaya of Squad 12, I think, shows up with his goons, with Grangiku, with Renji, with Ikaku, with Yumachika, and with Rukia. They all show up and they're like, "Ichigo, we're here to help you out." And so now they're all here from the Soul Society, and they're here to help out Ichigo with the Arancars and with the Hollows. And the Arancars are a group of Hollows that are under Aizen's control, which are basically like some top tier Hollows. So you have the Menos Grande, which are pretty big, but you have the Arancars, which are really strong, like captain level, if not better. So it's gonna be difficult. It's gonna be a difficult battle. And two of them show up. Oh, actually, excuse me, I skipped something. So before Hitsugaya's crew shows up, uh, Ichigo had to fight or excuse me, one Arankar, but two of them showed up. It was Ukiura and Yami. Ichigo fought Yami. He's just a big dude, and Ichigo was doing fine. He was doing good, but then he worried about his hollow power, and so he started losing and losing and losing. Chad was already beat up because he was there earlier, and Orihime shows up to try and help Chad, but she almost dies, and so Ichigo gets cooked because of his power, and then Yoruichi and Urahara show up, and they beat him up. They beat up Yami bad. Ukiura and him leave. Uh, excuse me, Ukiura takes Yami's arm as well because Yoruichi severed it, and they leave. Then Hitsugaya shows up, blah blah blah, and now Ichigo's struggling. Rukia tries to give him a pep talk to, like, cheer him up, and Ichigo decides, you know what, the only way I can deal with this is to go to Shinji for help, since Shinji is a Vizard, which is what Ichigo is, which is basically a hollow mixed with a soul reaper, like, because that's how you get stronger, is by mixing the hollow part of a soul and the soul reaper together to get even stronger. And that's what they did, but they've been kicked out of the soul society because of that. So Ichigo went over to Shinji, and he's over here like, yo, Shinji, help me, I'm gonna use you. And then Shinji's like, nah, dog, that's not how it works. And then initiation happens. Ichigo fights Hiyori or whatever, or I think Hiyori or Shinji. I don't remember which one, but he passes, and now he has to go through hollow training, like he went through training with Urahara and Yoruichi. So now he's in his training arc part three. While all that's going on, Chad is getting training from Renji. Orihime's trying to find her own way of helping out because Urahara is like, "Oh man, you can't come with us. You're just more or less going to be a detriment because your powers aren't suited for battle. They're defense and healing, but at the same time, there's people better than you at that. So we don't want you to die. We don't want you to die." And it's an earnest and honest thought. It just came off mean, but he does care. That's why he doesn't want her to come. But Orihime does. So she goes back to, oh, excuse me. Now she's struggling with that thought. Ichigo's, oh, what's it called, still training with them. He got the hollow mask down since he almost got hollow-fied. He had his whole battle with uh hollow Ichigo inside of him, talking about instinct. He was going through his hardest battles with Byakuya, Kuchiki, and you have Kenpachi Zaraki. And you have a filler one with Karia, which is the main Mount guy. And during the or after he got his hollow mask, Orihime showed up. Then she went to Urahara's. Then she came back to what's it called? Because he already brought her back. Um, and Hachi, there you go. That's his name, Hachi. Hachi is a big dude who holds the barrier down for their establishment. Blah 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 blah. He helps out Orihime. Heals uh one of her. I don't remember what they're called. Senten Keshin, I think is what it's called. Basically her power, because one of her pieces was destroyed since it's one of her hairpins. Tsubaki, I think was his name. It was destroyed during the battle with Yami and all that, so wasn't really able to help much. But the Hachi healed it. All that's good, all well and good. And now she's trying to get stronger because she does want to help Ichigo. At the end of the day, she cares way too much about Ichigo. So she's training. Ichigo's training with his hollow stuff, fighting Hiyori and all that. And then you have a dude that looks like Alucard, a Lisa, a girl that looks like a frog. You have Akihiko looking guy. You have guy that I don't even know how to call it. He has sunglasses. He has pointy hair. He looks like Lisa Simpson a little bit, but with glasses and kind of saucy because he's in a tracksuit. And Shinji. And I think that's all of them. I don't even remember. But yeah, you have all those visors over there. You have Urahara with Renji, Chad, and Yoruichi, and all of them. Rukia, she's chilling. Uh, Rangiku, Toshiro, which is Hitsugaya, Ikaku and Yumachika are all chilling, and that's basically what's going on right now. They're all just training. Oh, I forgot to mention actually. So during the middle of this, right, when Ichigo was turning into a hollow during his training and all that, Captain Hitsugaya got a call from Captain Yamamoto, which is the first court guard captain, and he called him, telling him all about like, yo, the battle this winter is gonna be crazy. Aizen is trying to do all this stuff, blah blah blah. Like basically, he's trying to get enough souls to do something with his plan. Honestly, I don't even remember. Well, what's it called? Basically, the long and short of it is Aizen, when he shows up, he's gonna go to Karakura Town, and he's gonna literally erase Karakura Town from existence for the Oken or whatever to get more power from it. So he's gonna use Karakura Town as the base to fulfill the requirement of power. And like when I say erase, I mean legit erase them from existence, as if they never existed and there was just a giant crater there this entire time. Just like how Rukia, when she left to the Soul Society, everybody forgot about her, but when she came back, like during this arc, it was like, oh hey Rukia, we haven't seen you in a long time. How have you been? So it's gonna be like that basically. And now they're preparing for all that, getting everybody to train because there was. I'm skipping over everything. My goodness. So after uh after Ichigo fought Yami, there was another invasion by the Arankars, but it wasn't by Ukiura and Yami this time. It was by Grimjow, the sixth Arankar. While Yami's 10 and Ukiura, I think he's 2 or something. I don't remember. Like 1 through 3. He's definitely the higher echelon of Arankar. But oh, what's it called? Grimjow and some of his crew showed up, and Grimjow, the way I consider him, as I've always considered him, is he's blue-haired Renji, but like way wilder and crazier. Like this man is toxic, but he's gonna be Ichigo's rival at this point for this arc, so it's gonna be crazy. But yeah, him and like 5 other Arrancar showed up, and it was basically Hitsugaya's squad and Ichigo versus all of them. Ichigo fought Grimjow. Uh, oh man, Hitsugaya fought somebody. Yumachika didn't fight anybody. Ikaku fought somebody though, and we got to see his Bankai, which is pretty cool. You have Rankiku who fought somebody, and Renji who fought somebody, and they were getting worked for the most part. They were getting worked, but there was a release that happened, and it was something Kaijo. I don't remember. Yeah, just something Kaijo, where basically the Soul Reapers have a restriction put on them where they can't fight at full power in the human world because it causes disturbances or whatever. It's not good for the humans or the souls. So they have a restriction on their power, which I think is like 20, no, 80%. And they had that restriction uplifted for this fight because they were losing badly. And everyone except Ichigo cooked their opponent from that point forward. Well, actually, no. Everybody except Ikaku and Ichigo. Ikaku being the exception because he beat his opponent before that restriction was released, so he's just cracked. And Ichigo because he lost. But everybody else beat their opponent once their restriction was uplifted. And Ichigo, what's it called? He just couldn't beat Grimjow because he is a Soul Reaper like they are. So he doesn't have that restriction on him, and his heart was wavering, so he was already like weaker as it is. So after that fight, that's the reason why Ichigo went to go train with the Vizards, and then everything after that is just simple. Now we're at the point where everybody's training, so on and so forth. And the filler episodes are just basically all the Soul Reapers going around like, "Hey, how's the human world like?" It's like what Rukia was going through when she got there first. So it's basically like that. But the next time I'm gonna pick up on episode 138, that's gonna be the Hueco Mundo sneak entry arc. So that's gonna be the next one, which is I think also like 22 episodes or whatever. But yeah, this arc itself, it's nothing crazy. It's just the intro to to the saga. It's just laying the groundwork like, yo, this is the motivation for Aizen. This is the motivation for us to stop him. How we're gonna get there is by training. Ichigo's conflicting like uh or inner struggle, excuse me, his inner struggle with his hollow, him trying to resolve it, getting some help from Rukia by giving him like a motivation. Here, yeah, the Visors helping Ichigo out and all that, giving them more plot relevance because they were introduced to this arc, just giving them more screen time, having Uryu and Chad training, gaining more power or regaining their power like Uryu. So it's just expanding the world of Bleach, having the Soul Society become more prevalent, but not through us being there, but excuse me, through the characters being here in the human world. Oh my goodness, excuse me. So, overall, like this arc is just setting up the characters, the the antagonists, or at least some of the antagonists, the the story motivation for the antagonists, what the characters are gonna do about it, how they're trying to go about it. Ah, dang, I forgot to mention, excuse me. During Yamamoto's and Hitsugaya's meeting, Momo showed up and they started talking, her and Hitsugaya. And Momo still is not good in the mental right now. She still thinks that Aizen can be saved, but nah, he is too far gone. That man's betrayal was planned from the very beginning, and she just can't accept that right now. She's still going through it, so mentally she's not there. But Toshiro forgave her, and now is just trying to help her get back into the swing of things. But what's it called? This arc, like I said before, it's just laying down the groundwork for the next arcs coming up. And boy, does it lay down the groundwork for the next arcs coming up. Like the way that I view this is the Soul Reaper, the substitute Soul Reaper arc for the Arrancar. And you're gonna see a lot of comparisons like that with this arc and the last arc, which to some people may be a detriment and to others it may be a positive. But I'll let you guys decide on your own. For me, when I once I'm done with the arcs in the saga, whatever, I'll voice my opinions on it. But for right now, this arc would be like the Soul Society or the Soul Reaper, what's it called? Substitute Soul Reaper arc for this saga. So, and as you can probably assume, since the next arc is literally called Waco Mundo Sneak Entry arc, you can probably see what arc that relates to from the Soul Society saga. But overall, if I had to give an MVP, I wouldn't really give anybody an MVP. Well, yeah, honestly, like I wouldn't really give anybody an MVP because everybody was just chilling. Oh, actually, no, excuse me, I can't give an MVP. It's Ikaku. Ikaku had the best fight, without a doubt. Ikaku's fight was the best one for sure. And that alone, like the fact that he had his backstory, the fact that he just went all out, used his Bankai, the fact that he's voiced by Vic Mignogna, excuse me, uh, the fact that he's bald, like he's so cool. Ikaku is so cool. He's definitely the MVP for this arc. I give it 100% to him. Because I was gonna struggle to decide, all right, who's gonna get the MVP for this? But nah, it's him. It's wholeheartedly him. I delegate it to him without a second thought. But music as always, no, pretty good. They have some new tracks playing. I think one of them is called "Here to Stay," which is one of my favorite Bleach tracks ever. I really recommend looking it up if you want a good song to listen to. It's more of a somber one, but it played when or excuse me, Orihime and Hachi were talking about her powers or whatever. So it's a really good song, a really really good song that just sticks with you. But yeah, music as always is the same though. Besides that, story it's alright. Again, nothing crazy. If I had to give the story a rating, I'd say it's a 7. Has a slow start, and it still is a slow start, but it's setting up for this stuff, so I don't mind it too much. But overall, this arc is just it's set up. It's literally set up, so I can't judge it too harshly. Probably at the end of it, like I as a complete body of work for this saga, like I can judge it more harshly. But right now, as its own separate thing, it's just like without the other stuff, it's not really anything. for the most part, just these characters getting ready. So, yeah, honestly, I think I'm just gonna leave it there. If I had to give this arc a rating, I would give it a 6. It's nothing crazy, nothing bad. It's just middle of the road, leaning towards good. The Ikugu fight was definitely the best part, the best fight by far. And Ichigo's training, his hollow training was really, really good. So actually, I'm gonna bump it up to a 7. I'm gonna bump it up to a 7 because of those two. Like at its best, it's a 7. At its worst, it's a 5. It's just middle of the road right now. Probably, well, nah, it's better than the substitute Soul Reaper stuff, because the substitute Soul Reaper stuff is pretty boring for the most part, except for Ichigo's like uh mom and all that, because that lore was pretty interesting. But yeah, I think I'm gonna call it here for now. Again, next time I'm gonna be talking about the Goiko Mudo Sneak Entry arc. It's gonna be from like 132 to 151, I think. So yeah, that's where we're gonna be off next. Hope you all enjoyed. As always, thank you all for watching. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and I'll check y'all out. Y'all have a good rest of your day. Peace.